Have you ever wondered how people work with the UN, or do you ever wish to work for or work with the UN? In today's video, we are going to be speaking all things UN volunteer and debunking all the myths and misconceptions about working with or for the UN. Right with me here is my guest. She's going to introduce herself. Just stick around. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Rebecca and welcome to the Lead Squad, where we do nothing but light up the world, honey, and help you regain your confidence. If you just stumbled upon this channel, I hope you do hit the subscribe button, turn off your notification, and if you find any of this information productive, do share it with your networks. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. You look nice, by the way.
You too. It's good to be here.
Right?
Yes, I've been a fan.
Oh, really? Glad to hear that. I think I've been a fan too. I'm like, oh my god, I need to interview this girl, you know? We need to get the information out there so that people get to learn and, you know? Right, so getting in today's video, we are going to be talking about all things UN, and maybe before we start, you can just introduce yourself to the people so that they get to know you.
Okay, my name is Chippo Chippo on social media platforms.
Yeah.
I am a geoinformation and depth observation scientist from Malawi University of Science and Technology. So I graduated in 2021, and currently I'm a UN volunteer working with UNICEF as an emergency information management associate. Very long.
That's nice. It sounds lovely. Sounds like one of those serious people trying to change the world.
Yeah.
All right. That's really so inspiring. You know, there are a lot of youth out there who wish to work for the UN, and they're just like, they don't know what to do or where to begin.
Yeah.
So maybe after this video, they will know a thing or two, and it will actually help them in the careers and everything. So I have about 10 to 15 questions right here with me that you're going to be answering about your experience being a UNV.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Alright, let's get it. Without wasting much of our time, let's get to the question. Alright, so what really inspired you to become a UN volunteer? And how did you get to know about it?
Okay. So I got to know about UN volunteers through one of my classmates. So they had been applying for a while, and I think they were just telling me as it was a venting session actually.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we can just address one of the misconceptions. It's like, okay, volunteering comes across as easy. So I think they were venting that, okay, I've been trying to volunteer with the UN, but then it hasn't been working. So I'm like, there's a thing, you can volunteer with the UN.
When you were in school?
When you were in school.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, let me check it out.
Yeah.
So I checked out their platform when I was in third year.
Yeah.
But then I think that's when I got to understand that, okay, it is volunteering, but then it has like, there's monetary value, but then if you're volunteering online, it's like, it's just the certificate. So I created my profile.
Yeah.
Then so I started applying, but then I was seeing that, okay, it was very competitive.
Yeah.
I think I then had the same experience with my friend who was telling me. I was like, okay, this seems like it's not as straightforward as it seems. So yeah, that's when I got to know about it, and then I think that's when I was like, okay, maybe I can try a different approach.
Yes.
So I knew of people in my who had done like GIS. They were interning with UNICEF. So UNICEF takes in, or used to take in 5 data interns every 6 months.
Yeah.
So I had known several people who had gone through the program. I was like, okay, maybe let me try interning first.
Yeah.
And then maybe I can eventually be a UNV. So yeah, that's how I knew about it, and that's how I got it.
That's interesting. So you've talked about pretty much 2 things.
Okay.
The monetary value. Now let's talk money.
Yeah.
Let's talk money. When you're a UNV, how is it like what is there like? What's the financial side of it that people should actually be? You know how in Malawi it's so hard to volunteer for things because everyone is like, okay, yes, I'm trying to be a volunteer, but what am I going to get out of it? Like, you're trying to sustain yourself every day on a daily basis. You're like, okay, maybe it might not be worth it. What can you say about it?
Okay, so unless you are volunteering online, which has like limited hours, so like on the description of assignment they say maybe you needed 6 to 11 hours a week. So that's like there's no monetary value to that. You just get the certificate, but then still I think it still counts. But then on the money, when you're on site, it is a job. It is a job, and you do get they don't call it salaries because I think it's just you're volunteering, but then it's just a technology thing. You get an allowance which is very substantial, so that can sustain you throughout a month. Like it's transport, food, and whatnot. So accommodation. So you do get something. So it's not just.
So you've talked about how you were worried about the whole process and how competitive it is. Maybe can you just share with the people out there, because I think that's also one of the things that most people are actually so scared about. That I can't get in because maybe my grades are not good or the school that I went to is not really nice like that. How's the competition like? Like how good do you have to be? What skills do you need to have? And
well, I think right now in Malawi there is really like the job situation is just too much. So you would find that people that are actually applying to UN volunteer roles are like very, very good as well. So I think like any other job advertisement, like they're looking for the best person. So if you have applied and you have an undergrad and then someone with a master's has applied, it's like the likelihood of them taking the master's person is higher than your undergrad. So it's just that they're looking for the best person for the job. So sometimes on paper it may look like the papers, like people with higher qualifications, like more years of experience have like more chances. But then I always say that like it goes down to how you tailor your profile. Like beat your own drum, like make it not exaggerate, but to some extent exaggerate, like the projects that you have worked on, like if you are associated with international organizations, like any name that stands out, make it loud in your profile, because I think that's where you shine.
That's actually a good one. I saw one of the girls also on Instagram. She was sharing how to like write a very good CV and all that, and that's one of the things that she actually talked about. That you know what, ever since I realized that I need to brand myself nicely and talk about all my achievements, it's the time that I really started getting all the opportunities that I don't have to be apologetic about my CV. All the big organizations, even if it was just like a training or any small thing, like I'll mention it right there. I worked with UNICEF, I worked with this organization, all the big brands, and it actually matters. And it matters.
And one thing I would also say is it is also a long-term game. Like you, as I said, like in third year, that's when I knew about UNV, and it took me, I think, how many years? Because I became a UNV in 2023. So I think it's a long game of positioning yourself. You may not be qualified for it now, but then like build up steps that will make you qualified, like maybe in 2 years. So it's like just like get into the game, like just
get into the game,
like play it right, like have a vision and be like, okay, I may not be the candidate that they're looking for now, but then okay, I want to be there. So what can I do?
That's nice. The other thing we talked about was creating a profile, and it has a plot or something. You talked about it. So maybe would you just get us through that process? Is it complicated as people think? Because other people might be like, I saw this thing where someone was saying, I draw the line when an application say I have to do a video, something like that, or if I see too many essays.
Yeah.
So maybe, can you also just take us through that process? How hectic can it be?
Well, the profile is pretty easy, and I think that's one thing. It's a good thing and a bad thing about the UNV portal. It looks too easy to it's easy to create a profile. It's easy. You just put in your years of experience, like where you have worked, and the good thing about the portal, it also counts like volunteer roles that you have done even in school. You know, if you served in a council, if you served in a club, it counts for experience. So you can just put in that, like it's pretty easy. But then, as I said, it's like also the bad part, because it's like you think, it looks easy, but then I feel like you need to take it to a step further. Yes. So the bars.
Don't be basic about it.
Don't be basic about it. Yeah. So put in as much as you can. Yeah. There are no word limits to the things you have worked on where you have worked and whatnot. So put in as much as you can. As much as the bars may look simple to just say one line, even applying like the have you been on the portal, like on the
not yet.
Yeah, but then
I will do it after now.
Yes. Yes, so if you've been on the portal, even the applying to a description of assignment, it's just a small button, and then you just write your motivation statement. You can read it, just write 2 words there, and it goes. So, but then it's like it takes you to know how competitive it is to now say, no, I can't write 2 words. What I've done, I just can't write small statements. I need to put in as much as I can. So the portal is really easy.
That's interesting. So now let's talk about the time commitment. What's the time commitment like? Are there like short-term and long-term options whilst you're there as a UNV?
So as I said, they're like online and on-site assignment. Online ones, there's like, you just have to work. It's usually you work from home or anywhere where you are, so it's like hours a day or something, and now and then meetings. But then on-site, it is a full-time 9 to 5. Yes, so you fully are there. You go to the office. It's like a proper job. So
is it like on a contract base that as a UNV you're supposed to work maybe for a year or 2 years, or maybe you can be a UNV for as long as you want?
So the assignments, they start from, I think they can be 6 months, 11 months. Like mine was advertised like for 11 months, but then I have been a UNV for 2 years. So there's a possibility of extension. They do write that, with possibility of extension, with no possibility of extension. But then again, it's like it's not a guarantee that they will extend it or not, because it also depends on the agency you're at. Because I like the other agencies like UNTB, they work like project based. So there's a project, they have funding, then they recruit, let's say, UNVs for that specific project. When it ends, it ends. So, but then if there are programs like agencies like UNICEF, they're not really so project based, so the work is continuity. So the work is continuous.
All right, that's great. And now, would you just take us through a day in the life of a UNV? How does it look like?
So a day in the life, because now it's hard to compare to, and because I don't know, I haven't been anything else. So it's a pretty normal. You wake up, because we start work at 7:30.
7:30 sharp. Everyone is in the office.
You're supposed to be. You're supposed to be. But then,
you know, it's different how UN is like a global, so you would expect that there are a lot of international people, and they're very much time conscious compared to like Malawian organizations where we're like operating on Malawian time and all that. So you would expect expected to be more disciplined.
Yes, it is very much disciplined.
Yeah.
Then I think with COVID,
Yeah.
it allowed room for flexible working arrangements.
Yeah.
So most of the agencies are like flexible working arrangements. But of course, it depends on the relationship you have with your supervisor, if you have an agreement. Because I think there was a time that I used to work from 6:30 to, I think it was 4, because I used to like go for aerobics. So you can have those flexible. So you can decide with your supervisor. You do like later, if you're late, you can do 8:30 to like maybe 6:30. So you add 1 more hour to your work. So yeah, I think the good thing with the UN, it's like it's open to that agreement with your supervisor and say, okay, I'll be coming in earlier than the normal working hours, and they're not going off late. And
I think that's one of the things I really like about these international organizations, because it's the same thing with the organizations that I was working with in Norway, that it's so much flexible as long as you work your 7 hours. So it doesn't really matter what time you start and what time you finish. They only have like peak hours where they're like, okay, maybe in case we have meetings, these are at least the times that you need to be in the office, but you're not like strictly saying, oh, by this time you're in the office doing this and that. So I think that's really good. It gives people room to also live their own lives, and do their own things.
And I think it also gives you a sense of accountability. Because it's like you really need to. What I also like about the UN, it's like it's very results oriented. It's like everybody just wants to deliver results. So it's like even when nobody's following you on what you're doing, but then you have like these goals that you need to achieve as a team, and it's like the core values, it's like integrity, accountability. So you just have that in your mind all the time. So even the working from home option, there's a system where you can just say, okay, I'm working from home these hours. But then still you can't like be too flexy about it, because in your mind you have a goal to achieve. So you don't want to be the one letting the team down and whatnot. So it gets really
Whilst we're at that, you know, it's a good thing you actually brought that up. I recently saw some posts on TikTok, like with a girl who used to be who used to work with the UN, and she was like, you know, de-influencing you. Like, you know those things where like young people are using now, influencing you to do this and that. Now that was like de-influencing you. And this person was talking about how working in the UN system, you're so much stuck in the systems, you know, like the very same thing, and it's not like, is there really impact? Are we really trying to save the world? What would you actually say about that?
Wow, that is a very good question, and it's very deep, because, and I think we've had this with most of our colleagues like at work. So as I said, I work with emergencies. So sometimes you're like, okay, we go to respond to Saigon Fed. And then you go there and see how much suffering there is, like how much work there is, and then you're like, okay, is it really, are we making an impact? But then I feel like it all comes down to, because there are a lot of problems in this world. There are a lot of problems. And I feel like it's you can't solve them all. Like it can't.
One problem at a time.
One problem at a time. And I just feel like as much as the UN may be this big body, but then
they can't solve all the problems.
They can solve all the problems. And I feel like one thing that we also feel as Malawians is to like take ownership to solve some of the problems for ourselves. I'll give you an example that we work with, let's say, government, because it's the UN works for the government. Like if the government says right now that we don't need the UN, any UN agency, they are mandated to like chase out all of them. Like they that's how much power they have. But then I just feel like we don't own it as Malawians to say these people are working for us. Let's direct them on what they should do. So you can't blame experts coming in and then telling you how to solve your problems when you're not owning it and saying, okay guys, let's do this as local people. So I feel like that's where we miss it. So when you go in the field, like this is responding to Saigon Freddy, you're looking at people looking at the UN as this mighty savior, savior, and the situation is really worsening. Chihuahua and Sanji, guys, they were so dependent on the aid that comes in, and it's like, you know, we don't really have to. We can design our own programs and be like, okay, when they come in, we already have this laid out, and then they're just filling in the gaps. So I feel like that's where the misalignment comes in, and of course, every time someone from outside comes in, they're going to miss it. So the impact is less when it comes from, it's like vice versa. So so that's how I see it, and it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating because when you go into the work ethics with UN, they come in with good intentions, but then they really don't know. They don't know our context. They really. So as much as let's say young professionals, you're in there, like you're working, and then you understand how they think. For you to transfer that same thinking to the community, it's like now it's so misaligned, and we can do better. I wish we could do better faster, but then it's really very slow. But eventually, I think. We'll get there. But it will start with us.
Of course. So now talking about you as a person, you've been in that system for like 2 years now. What are the skills that you've learned, and how have you grown as a person? Like when you look back, you're like, okay, I think this was good. This was a good.
Wow. Where do I begin? So. As I said, I joined in 2021, so it's been like 4 years. Wow. I think the work ethic, it's the first thing I would say. I've grown to really like work. Which can be a very bad and good thing, but for the most part, I feel like it's a good thing. Like I've learned to really like what I do and be very invested in it, and
that's such a privilege, you know, like being in that space where you feel like you're so aligned to what you really want to do, and you're actually doing that. It brings a certain sense of fulfillment.
Yeah, it really does. So like I've grown to like what I do and wanting to grow like professionally, but also I think personally, guys, Azungu, they like their rest. True. they like their rest. They leave days. Guys, they utilize their leave days. I'm like, hey, guys, this person I haven't seen for so long, but then they're still the results thing. I said, they're result oriented, but then once they deliver on something, they're like, okay.
Mic drops mic. Bye.
Let me go.
See you.
Let me go. Like that's why you see a lot of experts exploring parts of Malawi that we don't even get to do. Because once you push, play hard, work hard.
True,
so it's like once you push, you deliver, and then it's like, okay, now let me use my time today. So I think I've learned that balance to say, okay, love work, but then once I get like things done, I'm like, okay, what can I do to like expand my horizons, like look at things differently. Let me. So I've grown into liking hikes.
Oh my god! Okay.
I walk more, so I find myself also living my life fully. Wow, like being driven and everything, and I think that's something as Malawians we don't really embrace to like live life. Sometimes I get outside and just kungoyala and kegawanga and just sit on the sun. Like that's very white.
Take it in.
Just taking it in. So I feel like that's the impact it has had on my personal and professional life. So.
That's nice. That's like a very good mix.
Yes, balance, baby.
Balance, baby. Now let's talk about global issues. You being part of the UNV, working with different people from all over the world. How has this shaped your perspective on global issues?
Well, I think it had just. I think before this, I really didn't like have a full picture of. I didn't have the picture of to what extent are these issues. So you may see things like, let's say, climate change. It's like, okay, you look at it at a local level. Oh, well, Junes are not as cold as they used to be. But then I think working with as a UNV, I think I've just it has magnified the problems. It's like, oh my God, these are very big issues, and yeah, I at the same time it makes you feel a little hopeless. I feel like when problems are now magnified, you feel smaller. You feel really small, and it's like, oh my God, Malawi, let alone I am really small, and then the world is just very big, and then with everything going on, it's like you feel helpless, but at the same time you're like, okay, the little things I do, maybe they matter, so it makes you like work harder, like just be like, okay, maybe I can do a little something to these global issues. So yeah, it just magnified the extent to which like it's the very big.
True. And you being a UNV, what do you think has been the most challenging thing that you've actually experienced? That you're like, no, take me out completely.
Where do I begin? I feel like I feel like I should have started from somewhere else. And then like, because as I said, I joined in after university, so I feel like as much as I had to grow quick, I had to grow very quick. There were no baby steps, so it was like the challenging part was
you start doing serious people things.
You're already in there, so you have to like fake it for the most part until you actually make it. And there's a language, guys. People talk in different language. Like the terminologies, they're like very big words, and
that you mostly don't understand.
You don't understand, so it can get very overwhelming very quickly. So it's like that has been the challenge. And as much as it's an environment where you like have to grow quickly, which is the pro part of it, but then the con is like you feel the impostor syndrome. It like kicks in, and you're really challenged to like think for yourself for the most part. So for my role, like I was the first one for my specific role, so there was no one.
You're the trendsetter.
Yes. So it was like, okay, you're the young person, bringing fresh ideas. That is a lot of pressure. I'm like, do I have the fresh ideas? So you're put in a place where you can be. It's a make or break. So you can use the resources you have to like be innovative. Like, and one advice I would say: don't be afraid to ask. Ask for help, even for people outside your workspace, because when you get the job in the UN, you feel like you're there, but then sometimes people that can help you are not exactly maybe where you are, because I know a lot of my classmates, guys. I had a lot of help from my classmates because I'm like, guys, I'm here and I'm representing like a lot of young people, and GIS, Geoinformation System, is pretty much a new field. So it's like I don't have it figured out, so I really look for support in my network to be like, guys, there's this thing, Titani. So yeah, it is. That's the biggest challenge, because now you need to like do your own work plan and whatnot. So, but yeah, we grow.
Nice. And now that you've talked about the challenges, what has been one of the most memorable that you're like, oh my God, I'm a UNV and I've managed to get to this, or this really happened? What has been the most highlight?
So one of the highlights has been working on projects that don't only go like professional, but also like tap into my passions as a on a personal level. Yeah. So I think one thing about working for the UN or these global organizations, it's like they really see you as a whole person. So they see you as Peggy. You have your own background professionally, but then they're like, okay, what does Peggy like
to do? You want to tap into your potential.
Yeah, your potential. So when you're a young person, that's a really good space to be at. So the highlight has been people. I think from earlier on, people noticed that I like to talk.
You really do, actually.
I do.
Which is a good thing. Play to your strength, you know.
Yes. So any opportunity that I get, I'm like yapping.
Go for it. Let's go.
I'm like yapping. So I think that has worked very good for me because there's this opportunity with the innovation section. There was a global challenge where they were like, okay, it was for the UNICEF staff, let's say. So they're like, okay, we want like to get staff to be innovative, so they can like come up with innovative way to solve a global issue. So me working with emergencies, the innovation section was like, okay, we have this proposal. We're like working on how we can. It was using microwave waves to like predict rainfall. So it's a very, I won't get into detail of the project.
Girl, you've lost me, but I'm like, you know, maintaining composure. Take it till you make it.
Yeah, so it was like that project required someone to like do a video, like speaking about the project, like how climate change has impacted communities in Malawi, and then how the solution is like tackling that, whatnot. So like, Chippo likes to talk. Let's like get her into the video. So I did the video. I was actually I was wearing a very. It was a Friday, so Fridays are very casual. So I was like very casual, but then and they had told me this. They told me the same day that we need to make the video. I was like,
on the go, let's go.
Okay, what do I need to do? Give me the script.
I'm down.
I'm like, I'm down. So take few takes, and then we did the video, and it was shortlisted for like. So they shortlisted 8 of the innovative ideas.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were in the 8.
Oh my God!
In
Congratulations! Globally, baby.
Globally,
we do global stuff, right?
Yes, and it wasn't like one country office had to submit one. I know, Budi, like in our office, there were like, I think 5-6 people.
Oh.
Yeah, 5-6 people who had innovative ideas, and then they also submitted. So just one country, we had 5. And then globally it was like, okay, we got shortlisted, we got $50,000 funding.
Oh my God.
Yes, we got money for that.
If you want someone to write things for you, like to get the funding, we have the ideas.
Yeah,
innovative ideas.
Innovative ideas. So that was really good. It really like just highlighted. It was very good. Like something that we just did quickly to get recognized and get money for it. And I think when recognition comes, that's a good thing about when recognition comes. It doesn't come to you only. It comes to everybody, and then everybody gets to shine, and then you're just sitting there being proud. It's like okay, I did that.
Alright, so now I know there are a lot of young people out there who wish to be a part of the UNV, or not actually a UNV, but maybe work with or for the UN. What top 3 advice, or maybe let's say top 2, would you actually give to them?
Okay, top two. Okay, top 2. It would be something I've already said. It's a long game. So you have to, if you don't have the qualifications yet, so like play it. Give yourself time. Like be patient with yourself and give yourself time to build up yourself to qualify for things. So that would be my top advice. Like okay, look at the job descriptions, like stalk people on LinkedIn.
So how exactly do they prepare themselves? Is it on the skills part or on the academic part? As you say that, okay, maybe let's say someone with a master's is applying and I have an undergrad, but maybe I've worked for a longer time and I have a long experience, but my qualifications maybe academically are not there yet. Where's the balance? Like, where do we go? Do we go back to school first, or how exactly do we build ourselves and prepare ourselves?
Yeah, if you can do both, that's really good.
Yeah.
But then I always say that experience exceeds papers. Like, because then at the end of the day, it's like recruitment goes through phases. So on paper, when you do have, like, let's say the masters and everything else, it may look good, but then interviews and whatnot, when you have examples of projects you have worked on and everything, so just see what you can where you are. Let's say, for example, I'm at uni, like I'm graduating this year. If I can get into volunteering projects with big names, let's say World Bank projects or whatnot, like, I think those are the steps you can get into, and then look at online courses that you can do as you are working on the projects. So I know it may not be as easy as it sounds, but then like build up to like little steps. So if you also, now the women-led organization, it's in right now. So we have the Green Girls platforms that are always like welcoming volunteers if you like just want to also associate with them, which is something. So just get into there, because I feel like there's this law of physics that they say when a thing is in motion, it's more likely to keep on being in motion. So just start moving, like be moving, like things find you along the way. So do what you can where you are, and then build up from there. So if you can do both, like certifications online and then also experience, it's like that's good. Second tip is, hey guys, read. Like, read things. I know LinkedIn people sometimes they can get really overwhelmed with people like showcasing their achievements. I know. I'm thrilled.
No, everyone is there, like, and it's just like, oh my god, what's happening?
But then, like, read people's profiles. Like, and there's this verse in the Bible that says, "There's nothing new under the sun," and I feel like that applies to a lot of things. But you know, the path that you want to go, you're not the first one that wants to go that path. Like, people have gone through the same path before you, and there's no shame in like wanting to replicate, especially professional guys. Don't
feel ashamed.
Don't feel ashamed to like follow the footsteps of begging. Like, if you like what they're doing and you want to be there, like, read them up. Like, read their qualifications. If they're writing papers, if they're like doing research, like, read, and then I feel like from there you picturize your vision, because sometimes you have an idea of what you want to do, but then you need to put a picture to it. So if it's a person, even better, like, you follow them up. And I really like people who like do videos, especially like Tanda, like people who put yes, really, people who put what they've gone through on video, like even audio. Like, it gives you an idea of, okay, it may not be the exact same path, but then it's like, okay, at least
I have a picture.
Like, otherwise dreams are just dreams, and then when you have a picture, then God has something to work on.
So and it also just gives like a sense of encouragement, you know. I was watching this other video of some lady, she's Global Temi on Instagram. I'm not sure if you follow her. If you don't, you need to follow her. She's really amazing. Yeah, so she was talking about how her work experience has been. She has also worked for most of the very big organizations globally. I mean, as the handle says, Global Team, she's really global. And you get to like read her story and get inspired. And she was explaining how once she was in uni, like her grades weren't that great, you know, but she really kept on trying until she got into the Chevening scholarship. And like after that, that's when like her whole life like everything so just like transcended, and it's all going great. And I think that gives motivation that, you know, even though this is like this, I can still change this, or this is what I can do, and this is how I can go about it. So I think it's really amazing to, like, you know, just like share and also read and about people.
That's really good.
All right, so moving on to the next two questions that we have. If you've been in UNICEF for like 4 years now, and if you were to work for the next UN agency, what would it be and why?
That's a very good question, because UNICEF is considered the best UN agency.
Oh, really? You didn't know that?
Because UNICEF really works on the mandate of UNICEF is that very big. So the child, you look at the child in different aspects. So it's like looking at the child from an early stage, school. But then I wish to work for a more technical UN agency, because UNICEF looks at like the programmatic side. So it really if you're in the social space, and I feel like there is more, not so room for growth, yes, but then I feel like the work is more satisfying. But then for a technical person, it's not as much. So I would like to I think IOM, the immigration office. I feel like they deal more with data. So it's a more technical.
Out to the universe.
So IOM, I think would be my dream.
Next destination.
But then at the same time, I'm like, maybe I would also like to go to the private sector a little bit. So
just to have like a different feel.
Different feel. Because also I think you also need to know your field. For me, I feel, as I said, it's like I need to go deeper into the technical stuff, which may not be provided maybe by the UN. So I'm also looking into, okay, in my field there are big companies like Esli, which are like very big and producing GIS softwares and whatnot. So I'm like, okay, I mean, maybe the next step for me may not be the UN, which is also fine. So it's like, maybe private sector. So
All right, okay, that's great. Wishing you luck. Now, where do you think this journey is actually taking you to? Like, do you still see yourself as a UNP? Like, what's the way forward?
Okay. So I think this is the part where I say I just resigned.
Oh my god! Okay.
So I just resigned from my role. So I'll be going back to school.
Okay.
So I got a scholarship.
Oh my god! What? Okay. Now, guys, she's coming back on the channel
for the scholarship.
For the scholarship.
For the scholarship part. So I get an Erasmus Mundus scholarship.
Wow! Oh my god! Congratulations!
Thank you.
Oh, that's like really so inspiring. You know, I really feel so happy when I hear about this story. You know, it just gives an encouragement that Malawian girls killing it. You know, like,
we can do it.
We can actually.
Yes.
Congratulations. That's very nice.
And really, guys, we can do it, because it's very sad to see, even in my program, I'm the only Malawian. I'm the only Malawian to ever be selected. But then, guys, there are really smart people out there. I don't know why you don't go for this.
That's so true. There's like so much underrepresentation in these global spaces, like when it comes for Malawians. So it's really always so inspiring to see people getting these opportunities, and I hope everyone gets to see it from a point of inspiration. That, oh my god, she did it, and I can also do it. I mean,
definitely.
You know, wishing you luck, all the best.
Thank you.
Alright guys, and that's what we had in today's video. I hope you really enjoyed everything. I'm going to drop Chippo's handles right in the comment section below, so that if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out, right? If you want to let me get Chippo,
there's no shame.
There's no shame. There's no shame in doing that. Otherwise, see you guys in the next video. Bye.